it doesn't tally with whatever that you want it to be, then obviously it is tagged as is not correct.
Okay.
Wait, now my question is, Muslims are one of the most powerful religion in this world. Me, Tony, if today I go on internet, I pick the Quran and I write my own nonsense and I put my name there, I swear I will not last 2 days. They'll
come
find
after
me.
you.
So listen to this one.
Sure.
During those days, said nowadays our Muslims are not even powerful as
Like
in the olden
before.
days,
Yeah.
because in the olden days you can't joke with Allah.
Sure.
What I'm saying now, Krampono, I have to be very careful with my words. Compared to during those times. So those times, no, they sat down, because this hadith is obviously not our
Our era.
age. No,
Yeah.
it's not our era, right?
No.
It was in the olden days, which means during that time, you can't come and put words in the prophet's mouth.
Exactly.
You cannot go and write, even if the paper that you are writing on is seen by
Yeah.
any person that you said so and
punish
so about the prophet, and it's not true. You can
you'll
end
be
your life
there.
there.
So
You'll be
this is
unalive.
where you got it wrong.
So I'm
Please.
coming on. Wait, let me finish.
Ah.
So Muslims are telling me none of them were so powerful enough, knowing very well that these are the specific things that can actually destroy their foundation, that can actually destroy their religion, that can actually disgrace their prophet, that can actually condemn everything they have built from ages to upon ages. Nobody cared to even destroy the whole thing. Nobody cared enough to even pay attention to it. They left the thing to be there for over ages upon ages upon ages upon ages, till now that our era, they are now coming to tell us
So
that is wrong.
let's answer this. It's not in your era. Let me start. During the reign of Harun al-Rashid,
Okay.
the Rashidun Caliphate, during the Rashidun Caliphate, after the Rashidun Caliphate, we got a caliph called Harun al-Rashid. This Harun al-Rashid, in his reign, there was an impostor who came and said he was a grandchild of the prophet. So he was treated well and he was honored. That since he's a grandchild of the prophet, they went to him and he was giving them hadith. My grandfather said this. My grandfather said
stories.
that. And because he's the grandfather of the prophet, you will not challenge.
Okay.
So he narrated a lot of falsehood in the hadith. Until what I'm saying, every Muslim knows this. Until he was caught, that it wasn't true. When he was caught, his confession was that the kind of lies are fabricated in the hadith, nobody can eradicate all. So he was unalived,
Beheaded.
like how he said he was beheaded. So when he was unalived, Allah himself has predicted in the Quran that Islam, people may try to corrupt Islam, but Allah will use the people of Persia to reinstall Islam the way he brought it. To this are almost 200 years after the Prophet. Allah raised Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmizi, Abu Dawud, and the rest. So these books are called Kutubu Sita. They came, that was what yesterday Avram was saying. He thought that was when they wrote hadith. So they roamed from the house of the companions, and where every companion has stayed before, brought their books, sat down, and then they correlated. After correlation, then they sieved this hadith. That is 200 years after the Prophet. Not now. It's not now that we are saying it is not authentic. They sieved the hadith. They realized that this chain of narration, see, every hadith has a chain of narration. Amankwa said, Sheikh HAFIZ Bukhari said, Sheikh HAFIZ Bukhari met the Prophet. Then they will scrutinize Amankwa's character. Was Amankwa really with the Prophet?
Perfect, yeah.
Was he a mediocre? Was he a liar? Was he honorable? Was he respected? If he was, what about Sheikh HAFIZ? Was he a friend to Amankwa? Where did they meet? Have they met before? They will scrutinize all this. Then they will grade the hadith as this. So they graded this after just 2 centuries after the Prophet. Just like the Bible was compiled 3 centuries after Jesus. So this happened. So what I'm trying to clarify to you is that it is not us who are grading this. It is in various hadiths. Whenever you pick hadith, you will see it has been graded as Sahihi. And there are books that has been written by Muhaddithun. When we say Muhaddithun, scholars of hadith, they've written books that are grading this hadith already, that this one is not true. And they will give reason, because so and so is not part of the thiqah, or it's not part of the rijal, or because this one has no good character, so this is not true. And this makes the hadith much more authentic even than the Bible. Why? Because you cannot trace every word of the Bible, or every verse of the Bible, or every narrator of the Bible to tell us his home, his household, his character, how he lived, whether to accept what he said or not. You understand? So with the hadith you can trace. So that is why we have hadith that is authentic, Sahih. After Sahih, they check whether it is mutawatir, whether it is ahad, whether it is muttafaqun alayhi. All this, it is checked before we can stand on it to make it as an evidence that indeed this really happened. So it is not we who are saying this in the 21st century, like how Muslims are, they don't play with that. No. It has been done already. It is not as Sheikh.
It seems to me what Tony is trying to say is that those hadiths shouldn't exist.
Exactly.
I'm coming.
Simple.
Yes, so allow me to explain that, because I know that's what you are trying to say. It shouldn't exist, okay? That would have been better than the grading, that this is Sahih, this is Da'if, whatever. So, the best form to preserve this hadith is the grading. We cannot destroy all the hadiths. Assuming we destroy everything at a time, today we have people who are enemies to Islam. They can just go and stay somewhere and produce hadiths and claim that these are also from those times. So
check this
now what we have is the grading.
Okay.
Wherever the hadith is coming from, you can go and sit in your room and bring any hadith. We just check, okay, this one, where from this one, who wrote it, Da'if. That is the better form
It is not us who said it.
to preserve the hadith than for us to say, okay, let's collect all the hadiths which are not authentic and let's say burn them.
Now listen,
It wouldn't make sense.
you see,
And
this
it's
thing you
also
are saying,
a method of honesty.
Do you know-
to prove that certain people were liars who lied against Islam, and these are those people. So such people, even
And
when
it's-
their names are mentioned, there are certain cases that
But-
we invoke
And
on them for such
do
evil
you
that-
know
What
we
I don't
have
understand-
wait, let me say something before you continue. Do you know we have books, volumes, just to correct those hadiths which are not authentic?
Of
Okay.
course.
We have like Silsilat al-Da'ifa by
course,
Imam Nasr
yes.
al-Albani. These are thousands of hadiths that he has compiled in a voluminous book. And then all those hadiths in those books are da'if. They are not authentic.
Hey.
And that is how we preserve our knowledge. So we buy those books, we learn them. So when you read a book or you read any hadith, I can easily tell that this hadith is da'if.
Okay,
Not
so-
because I'm
so
just saying
for a
it.
layman or someone who is not part of the faith, and maybe I want to join, and then maybe you give me the Quran. Definitely, you will not give me the one in Arabic because I cannot read Arabic.
exactly.
So if I go and get a Quran, a normal
English.
translated Quran, that is what I know. And that is what I have learned. So now, will I learn it up to a certain level, and now I want to ask questions about it, and then I'm told that most of it, things in there, or some of the things in the hadith are not authentic?
So do you go to school today and become a lecturer today?
Sir, I'm not today, but
So hold on. Once you embrace Islam, what you do is to learn from the learned Muslims. Once you
not
learn,
just any Muslim.
not just from any Muslim. Once you learn from the learned Muslims, they will be correcting you and be teaching you until you too you become learned. Sheikh is still studying. I am still studying. We have our scholars, Sheikh, two of us,
Of course.
who are teaching us. Even when we are sitting here, when we make mistake, they are going to call us tomorrow. Charlie, you said this. Do a video and correct, and we will do a video and correct.
Exactly.
So you
So
don't.
my question here is, the Quran is one of the most powerful books
Exactly.
when we come to Islam.
That's what we all know.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, when the Uthman
This is
figured
not a
it out,
Ramadan episode.
see,
Say
I'm
it.
telling you.
Say it.
This is not a Ramadan episode.
I'm
No,
telling you.
let me close it.
Let's go to Ramadan.
Let me close it.
Hey,
So
my people.
now, yeah,
The thing has
Yeah.
if the
shifted.
Quran
But
is
we'll
one of
come
the
back.
most powerful
Stay with us.
books in
Very
Islam,
well, yeah.
I mean, not even a book, word of God,
Yeah.
and even that
And
one.
Nyinabe was so
Emeka
shaking.
Abe.
He's
Listen,
not
oh,
even.
no.
He's. Hey,
I'm
you are
just
not relaxed.
enjoying him.
Okay, so
I
see,
know, right?
if Quran is a word of God,
Mm.
and that one it shouldn't be touched.
Mm. Why did Usman?
That
do
one
it?
shouldn't be touched though. But that one, even that one, when Uthman figured out, said there was something wrong somewhere. Uthman figured it out, said, "No, I'm not going to allow this to happen." Uthman gathered all the fake Qurans
exactly,
and
and
burnt
burnt it.
them and left one, because he knew if he don't do that, these books are going to be used against Allah in
So-
the future.
so this-
So Uthman burnt them. So you want to tell me, he said, even the most important book, no, you did burn some of them, and you left hadith to destroy the prophet's name, destroy the Allah's name,
Question
and you
for
are
the
okay with it.
gods.
But for the word of God, there, that one there, you got the power to burn it. When you are supposed to rather leave the word of God, to be, so that people will figure it out, because maybe there are certain things he Uthman burnt that we might not know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of books that are lost in the Quran.
No.
There are a lot.
Not
Mention
even
one.
Okay, so they have a verse in the Quran which is about the breastfeeding. They have another verses which
Oh, Charlie.
Aisha said it got missing.
This was also done with chairman.
See, now you see,
Yeah,
this is
that's
what I'm
everything
saying.
is doing.
Hey.
No, there is the authentic
My
one in
people.
Muwatta Malik. There is the authentic one. That is why I'm saying.
So me, I'll leave this
we
one for
learnt in
internet, then we
basic.
move on.
No.
Was there
let's
no
answer.
book? Was
Let's
there no
answer.
book?
Let's answer this.
He
Let's
said you
answer.
answer it.
Answer. Uthman, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, did not burn any fake Quran.
Are you saying this on record?
So let me talk.
Okay,
Let me
yeah.
talk. That's why I said on record.
Yeah.
Yes.
On record.
Yeah, people, he's here.
Oh, let me talk. What happened was that the Quran was compiled in the reign of Sidi Abu Bakr,
Okay.
the first caliph. It was compiled in his era. So he had copy which was with the daughter of Umar, Hafsa, who was actually one of the wives of the Prophet. She was the one who was keeping it. There were several scribes holding their own copies. The Prophet had around 40 to 50 scribes.
Okay.
All had their copies. Then we had almost majority of the companions have already memorized the Quran off head. Then we have those that have mastered in their memorization too. They were there. So in the days of Abu Bakr, he said, no, let's make it a book so that we don't rely on memorization alone. If we die, those who will come after us will not have a copy. So therefore, they will not have a piece. So they gathered all the scholars who have memorized and all those who have the copies that were written in front of the Prophet. The memorizers will read. Then they listen, okay, it's the same. Compare it with the book, it's the same. Okay. So then they had one carbon copy, but the remaining, then he allowed them to keep theirs. In the days of Uthman, around 19 to 20 years after the Prophet has died, Uthman then realized that people were writing the hadith together with the Quran. Like you come to me to copy, and you copy both hadith and Quran together. So he said, no, this is not possible. Let's recall those who have memorized and those who have the copies that were written in front of the Prophet. Let's redo correlation. So he did this correlation and he wrote around six to eight. How many? Six? Is it 6 or 8?
Yeah, 8 copies.
8 copies. Then after doing it in Islam, one of the best way, you see, don't compare certain people's culture to Islam. In Islam, one of the best way to preserve the Quran, to protect the Quran from being mishandled, is to either bury it or to burn it. So after getting the 6 carbon copies, which were authentic, what happened was that the remaining were already not Quran. They were those that had hadith and certain stories, people, those who couldn't, who were later on adding things that were not. He was the caliph, like the governor. So he seized everyone's own. After seizing everyone's own, then he did what? He burned them, so that people will not go out there with those Quran
Big
that
ones.
are not authentic. So these 6 ones was then dispersed to museums. Some went to Turkey, some came to Africa. I think one went to Europe, and then one was in Medina or Mecca. So that was how the whole show was done. Now the issue of burning was to protect the Quran, so that if it is lying down, someone will step on it. As Muslims, we don't even use graphic in the toilet because it may have the name of God in it. And we don't have to step on it. When you see certain, you need to burn it or bury it.
You don't even put any book on top
And we
of the
don't
Quran.
put any book on top of it. So Usman did that to protect the Quran and the name of Allah and the Prophet and the holy writings from being stepped upon and from being misused. So he burned and he buried. Now then, talk of the hadith. They have already mixed up. And these people who came sat down and explored their knowledge by doing what? By already grading them. Now, when you say it is destroying the name of Allah, no. It is someone who has no knowledge of Islam who sees it so. The one who has knowledge of Islam. That is why I said you don't wake up and begin to teach medicine when you have not acquired the knowledge of it. So because you don't know, you will quote hadith that is not authentic, and you see me and my sheikh was laughing at him when he said go to a certain portion of the Quran. We knew
I
that.
never even said
No,
that one.
no,
You
I
know
know
the story,
No, I know the story. I know the
But I
story.
didn't
say
Yeah,
it.
you were going there.
I wasn't going there. I wouldn't have said it.
Those
but
are,
I know you know
those
the
are the
story.
breastfeeding verses.
Yeah.
Now, if you know the hadith a bit, you will see that Muwatta Malik narrated the authentic one, and he did not bring goat at the Quran. And Muwatta Malik was even written before Bukhari.